Hi there, my name's Ben Stanton and I want to show you through this Outback power system that's running your home. So this unit here on the left, the large one, is the power inverter. That creates 230 volts for use in the home, and the power from this inverter comes straight into the switchboard here, like a normal home switchboard, and is distributed throughout your home. This gets its power from the battery. Now the battery we'll look at shortly, and that is underneath the house, directly below this unit. Now these two units here are controlling the solar panels. So the solar panels that are up on the roof, there are two different types of panels. One's an older solar array that goes into this charge controller here, and the newer ones come into this charge controller here. And these have buttons on them and displays. The display here shows you whether the solar's working and whether it's coming in, and also tells you what the battery voltage is on out. You have another display here which is for programming the system and also for a little bit of basic monitoring, so you can see there what's happening with the battery. It's at 100%, and you can see what's coming in and what's going out of the battery, how much energy has been used over the last day. Then you also have a bit of a basic battery monitor here. When the green light's on, it means the battery's at 100%, and of course when it drops down, these lights go out and the percentage can get right down quite low. This is a generator control switch. So the generator is automatic start and stop, and with the little U shape of that switch, it's a rotary switch that can be turned. The U shape up with the A showing is auto, and the U shape to the left or to the right is off, so the generator will not start on automatic. And then if you want to manually turn the generator on, you push it downwards to M for manual, and the generator will start, and then you will see power coming into the system through the generator there. And when you finish with it, turn it back to auto. The generator will automatically start. There is an output on this charge controller, so when the battery voltage gets low, the generator will automatically start, provided it's in automatic mode at the generator itself. And that is controlled by the auxiliary output. If the aux is on, then the generator is off, so it's the other way around, and if the auxiliary turns off, the generator will start. Now we will go down and have a look at the batteries. This is the Freedom 1 lithium battery. This is an enclosed battery system that is IP rated so long as the cover is on the front. So it has a plastic cover down here which covers the circuit breaker, and it is called a 5-4. That means it has a total of 5 kilowatt hours of storage and a usable 4 kilowatt hours down to 80% state of charge. The warranty is for 10 years. As at 2021, it has a 10-year warranty. And the warranty is covering 80% average depth of discharge per day, up to 4,000 cycles, or 10 years, whichever is the first. And it will still have 70% of its full capacity after the 10-year warranty period is complete. If it's less than that, then get in touch with Freedom 1. A Google search will find them, or a supplier who understands or can access Freedom 1 technology. If the battery gets too high or too low, in other words, there's a problem on the system and the system doesn't turn off before the battery turns off, the BMS in the battery will automatically trip the breaker. Now the breaker will trip only a little bit, just down to the yellow line. The breaker then needs to be reset. The method for resetting is to undo the 4 screws take the cover off, press the off button, then press and hold the on button, push the breaker right to the bottom, and then push the breaker right up while you're holding the on button. That will then bring power back onto the system. Preferably do that while the sun is shining or while the generator is running, so that the charge can get straight back into the battery immediately. And once it's all running again, don't forget to put the cover back on the battery. The generator is an auto start generator, and it has an auto start controller inside it. So to run the generator in auto mode, leave the key switch on. Then the generator can be controlled from the system down in the house. This is an override for the auto start. This is the control switch. It should be left in the off position, which is in automatic. That means the house can control it. If you turn it on, it will start the generator. So that's good for a test for the generator. But generally you leave that in the off position. This is the power switch that supplies the actual 230 volts power from the generator down to the house. So this switch should be left in the on position. Off at the top, on at the bottom, and then you're running in auto when that switch is on inside the generator. The battery for the generator is in this compartment down there, and if you're not going to use the generator for an extended period of time, then it would be advisable to disconnect the battery lead so the battery doesn't go flat. But usually in the winter, the generator will be required to start depending on load, how much energy is used and how much sunshine there is. The generator will be required to start regularly, so it will probably maintain the charge in the battery okay. So you can see the little A in the notch, and turning it to 0 either side. A is automatic, that means the system will start it when it needs to. 0 means it's off, it will not start. And M means it will start manually and turn the generator on, but remember to turn it back to off or auto when you've finished your manual run. There's not usually a reason you'd want to start it manually. The system should handle doing it automatic, unless you had a bad day perhaps and you wanted to get some energy back into the battery so the generator doesn't start at night time. The data on the solar screen, the top line is the panel voltage coming in and how much current is coming in from the panels. The out is the battery voltage, that's the actual battery voltage. That should not get above 28 volts. And that's how much current is going into the battery from this charge controller. The charged says that it's fully charged and it's finished charging. That's why we see nothing coming in. As soon as load comes on the house, the solar panels will start charging again to support that load so the battery doesn't discharge. That's if it's during the day. And you can see how many kilowatt hours the charge controller has done in the day and also how many kilowatts it's currently producing. The charge levels will be bulk, absorb and float, and it's always aiming for around about that 28 volts.